Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we are talking about the spell Chain Lightning.
I like making funny sounds with my mouth. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Chain Lightning is 6th level from the Player's Handbook. It's a classic for sorcerer wizard. Action to cast, 150-foot range, which is pretty friggin' long. Verbal somatic material components, which is a bit of fur, a piece of amber glass or crystal rod, and 3 silver pins, which is a lot of weird little things. Instantaneous duration. You create a bolt of lightning that arcs towards a target of your choice that you can see within range being 150 feet. 3 bolts then leap from that target to as many as 3 other targets, each which must be within 30 feet of the first target. So you shoot one thing, you pick 3 things within 30 feet of that target, they all get zapped. A target can be a creature or an object and can be targeted by only one of the bolts. So you can't be like, zap the one thing, zap, 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 all on the same other thing. Target makes a dex save. On a failed save, it takes 10d8 lightning damage. Half as much on a success. At higher levels, you get a bonus d8 for every level above. Bob, I have an initial very large complaint with this spell. Can you guess what it is?
No.
It's the damage.
Oh, well. Yeah, this is a 6th level spell.
Yeah.
How and what is just regular old lightning bolt, a 3rd level spell?
So regular lightning bolt is 8d6 as a 3rd level spell. So this is 10d8, which is more than 8d6. This is doing more than a 3rd level spell. But if you upcast it, you're going to 11d6 damage, which is doing 38.5 damage. So 38.5 damage for a 6th level lightning bolt versus the average of 44 damage for it's 8d10, right?
No, wait, 8d10.
No, it's 10d8. Same number.
10d8. Right. Okay.
Yeah, 10d8 gives you an average of 45 damage. So you're getting slightly more damage on at most 4 targets for a chain lightning and nothing else. And that's not good enough. It just isn't. If I have lightning bolt and I have chain lightning bolt has more potential upside by being able to hit more things. It can be cast at 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th level, whereas chain lightning can only be cast at 6th level. And chain lightning has a maximum of 4 targets it can hit for only a slightly larger amount of damage. This just does so much less than comparing it to lightning bolt, which is the worst version of fireball. If we're talking about fireball, that hits everything within 30 feet of a target, or with 20 feet of a target, for that same amount of damage. And you can cast it as a 3rd level spell, and a 4th level spell, and a 5th level spell.
Potentially hit more targets with lightning bolt, but you could also potentially not. I mean, if they're not 4 guys standing in a line, then yeah. But no, but yeah, fireball knocks them both on their ass. So I don't know.
Chain lightning needed to do something else. I really am so annoyed that it can't bounce continuously. Like, I wish you could have the 30 feet be from the hit target or from the first chain, and you can just like actually chain it so it goes bzzz and go like ridiculous distances. That would be pretty spicy.
I think older versions of the spell work similar to that, but every bolt like on the chain got a little weaker.
That'd be neat too.
Yeah.
Let the first one hit like 14d8 and the next one does 12d8 and then 10d8 and then 8d8. Sure, that'd be really cool. I think that'd be a lot more interesting. And then you get some cool decisions to be like, I fry the big thing with the most damage and try and land the weakest one on the smallest one. You get these cool little puzzles, which is what I would expect from chain lightning, where this just kind of feels more like you zap something and it explodes around the area, which just feels like fireball. And you can already do fireball. And in fact, fireball's better than this. So I'm not impressed.
No, I mean, the only thing I could think of, again, with fireball, if you don't want to destroy everything in the room,
sure,
then this is an advantage over that. But typically, that's not a concern.
I also struggle to think that shoving 10d8 lightning into somebody and then having that 10d8 lightning get shoved into 3 more things doesn't cause collateral damage around the area, doesn't have, like, you know, the intensity of heat that's just spontaneously bursting out of your fingertips doesn't have some impact on the environment. But, you know, it's not what happens. That's what the rules say, so that's not what happens.
Yeah, and certainly not as much as actual like
that's
bomb.
True. Explosion. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's a 6th level spell that doesn't do anything else. And that's foundationally, I think, the core problem. Its upcast is kind of neat. So its upcast lets you hit more things, but that doesn't increase its damage too. So it just increases the quantity of things you hit, which Fireball's normally hitting like 3 to 4 things anyway. And this is already hitting 4 things. So how often do you need to hit 5 or 6 things? And if you do need to hit 5 or 6 things, an upcast Fireball probably does that and now is doing more damage to them.
See, I was thinking the upcast should have been damage rather than being able to hit more things.
I honestly, why not both? Why not do an extra D8 damage and you get an extra bounce?
Or just do something different. I mean, look, I don't like that Fireball and Lightning Bolt exist and don't do anything except damage. And then Chain Lightning. Yeah, Chain Lightning in particular, for a 6th level spell. Yeah, I mean, you already covered this. It needs to do more than slightly more damage than a spell you've had forever.
Yeah. I don't see almost any compelling reason to want to cast this unless you need an average of 6 more damage out of your 6th level spell slot. But like your other 6th level spell slots, especially on sorcerers and wizards that have a pretty baller list, especially sorcerers that don't have a lot of like room on their sheet for extra spells. Their spells known is very small. Why would you put this on your list whenever Fireball is as good or about as good at the level you cast it, sometimes better, sometimes slightly worse? Why would you put this on your sheet then, whenever you've got other more important, powerful 6th level spells that do new things, that do things that aren't just area of damage?
Maybe you didn't take, you're a different kind of sorcerer, you didn't take super damage spells at 3rd level, and this is going to be your first big damage spell. I don't know.
And to its credit, 10d8 still is a lot. Whenever you cast this, you're probably not going to feel that bad about it, right? I don't think it's apparently whenever you put it on your sheet and you cast it, you're like, wow, that did a good chunk of damage. It's not apparently bad there, but comparatively, it's quite bad. I think that's a pretty important note that I don't often talk about. I normally just kind of gloss over it. We're comparing this to some of the best 3rd level spells ever made, right? We're comparing this Chain Lightning damage numbers to the highest, most gross damage numbers that have been printed, which is Fireball and Lightning Bolt. That still puts this in the camp of like, you're never going to really, if you want a high damage spell and you don't really care about what else you're doing, you just like blowing things up, this blows things up perfectly fine, perfectly serviceably. It does it in a slightly, barely slightly different way than the 3rd level options. That's, I think, where its cardinal sin is that it's just not different enough from the 3rd level options. It's still, I guess I'm just going back in circles now, but like this should be more than it is. This should disable reactions like Shocking Grasp. This should magnify their gear or something cool. Give it flavor text that turns sand to glass or something, right? Give us anything more that I can justify considering this than it hits a slightly larger area, but less total creatures than a Fireball can.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Trying to think of what other things it could do, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't do them.
Yeah. Our speculation is purely for our own benefit, Bob. It doesn't actually do those things. I think if you're doing big higher level magic, if a person's been playing D&D for long enough that they're getting 6th level spells, I think it's okay to accept that some of the higher level spells should be a little bit more complicated than this. I think we should be moving the more complex options to the higher level stuff. And this had plenty of opportunity to be that. This had plenty of opportunity to be the chains around a whole bunch of stuff from older editions, have the fun calculated puzzle of this is how I get the most damage out of this cool little arc. It doesn't have to necessarily be better than Fireball in that instance. Most times it's not going to be, but at least it's interesting. This isn't even interesting. This is just you hit a thing, it hits 3 other things. And that's just, yep, sure, that's 10d8 damage into 4 things. We've done it.
Yeah, put a condition on people. Prone. Give me prone at least.
Yeah. Maybe if it does enough above a certain damage, maybe if it like does more than half their HP, they're stunned. That'd be really busted and really good. And then I'd be like, yeah, I get it. But this is not that. This is just damage. So no, I don't love it.
This feels like filler now because all we're doing is talking about what it could be. But the only other option is to talk about more. It is a damage spell that does damage, and yeah, there's even the little chain bolts. That's what can we really say about that?
So like one tiny thing we could mention: if a bar fight's going down, this is very precise. This will hit the 4 things you really want to hit and nothing else. And that's not nothing. Fireball certainly doesn't do that.
Yeah.
Invoker's Sculpt spell does, as does meta magic options that let you shape things out of your damaging spells. So, like, it's not necessarily a tall order to fulfill if you want to empower your fireballs and stuff that way. And that applies to all your spells, not just Chain Lightning. But Chain Lightning does let you surgically target things. How often you need to surgically target things? It's probably not that often. Probably like a handful at tops encounters per campaign. So I don't think that is a justifiable reason for this. I still think this is a 3. It's a big bunch of damage. It does enough damage in the upper tiers that you're like, wow, they hit like a bus. Unfortunately, Fireball being upcast hits about as well and hits oftentimes better amounts of creatures. So yeah.
For those reasons, I'm giving it a 2. I can't give it a 3. I can't think of any reason to justify taking this. Except for the precise damage. I don't know. That's not enough for me.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just
No.
it's not as good as the 5-star 3rd level spell that is also as good, but better than this as a 6th level spell. And that's why it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a big damage effect. And big damage effects are typically fine. That's where I'm at.
My argument is that you probably, if you want spells like this, you probably already have Lightning Bolt and or Fireball.
And this is considerably worse with that case.
Well, not worse, but it's just you have but so many 6th level spells you can have, then choose something else.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Well, that was Chain Lightning. Yeah, that's it. All right. Thank you, Sam, and thank you everyone for joining us. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it, a gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description where you'll find my Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.